Hello, team. How are we doing on this fine Monday? This is the start of the build-up to Euro 2024. Yay! Euros. Why isn't there a Euros official song? I haven't heard it. Gone are the days of it's time for Africa. Hey hey waka waka hey 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 ha hey ha ha. The eye contact was a bit much there, wasn't it? Got a new mic. That might have been a bit loud. Sorry about that. But got a new mic. Got a new setup. I just want you to know that I'm very excited. Hey hey waka waka. This is going to be a debrief of the Iceland game, and across the week I'm going to be building up to the Euros because I'm very, very excited. So let's jump right into it. We didn't have a great time on Friday night against Iceland. We lost 1-0. Now, does that matter? No. Does it mean everything's wrong? No. I feel like we've had bad friendly performances in advance of the tournaments and it hasn't made a goddamn fucking difference. In advance of World Cup 2022, we were playing awful. We lost like 4 out of 4. I think we lost to Hungary twice. Drew to someone. Basically, it was bad. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, we didn't win World Cup 2022, did we, Fred? No, we didn't. But the point is, in my opinion, we performed incredibly well. Yeah, you can look at it and be like, well, we only got to the quarters and previously we got to the semis and the final of the Euros. Immaterial to the conversation, in my opinion. We played incredibly well. We absolutely trounced Iran, trounced Senegal. We played better than France in the quarters. Now, does that matter in football? No, the only stat that matters is who scores more goals. But we did play better than them. And that therefore means that the friendlies in advance of the tournament had no bearing on our performances. So, will we play better against Serbia? Yes. Will we change it up from what we played against Iceland? Yes. I think that was always Southgate's plan. We tried a few things. So I've got the lineup here. We did try a few things in DDO. For example, we won't be starting Bowen on the right. That'll be Saka, who came on in the second half. For example, I don't think we'll be starting Palmer. Hold on. Foden was in here somewhere. Where the fuck was Foden? Sorry, Palmer was on the right. Sorry. Fuck. Oh my God, I'm such a dick. Palmer was on the right. Bowen came on. Oh my God. Absolute rookie mistake. Foden was in the middle. This was part of the problem. And Palmer was on the right. This was part of the issue. I was looking at it thinking, why didn't this go well? No, this is obvious why this didn't go well. Because this dude, and this dude, they all want to be in the same goddamn place on the pitch. Kane's thinking he's a fucking CAM. Foden wants to be here, and Palmer's licking his bumhole. Absolute nightmare. So when Iceland scored their goal, and Rice is trying to push forward like he's playing for Arteta, when Iceland scored their goal, we were essentially lined up like that. Because Stones was pushed over here. He was here. Drippy was here. So by the time the Iceland runner came through, he was against Stones as a right back. They ran back. Stones ran across, tried to block it, by which point Gerhi was back in his position. Stones couldn't block it. Aaron Ramsdale could have done better, I guess. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So the point isn't that we lost. The point is, this was the fucking problem. This was a big time problemo. Now, what we really want this to look like is we want a left winger out there on the wing. I think Gordon was our best player Friday night, and I would personally start him over Foden. Because for me, Foden hasn't performed for England. And I think for me, what an impact sub that is to have. I think everyone's like, oh, play your best players. Or some other people say, play your best players in your best positions. Sometimes that doesn't fucking work, mate, because Bellingham and Foden are playing the same position, and Palmer cuts into the same position, and so does Eze. So we can't have them all on the pitch. We need a left winger, Gordon, and we need a right winger, which we'll come on to. So Gordon was the best. I don't think Harry Kane should drop as much as he does when we're playing that much number 10 talent. And I include Rice in that because I know he's not a number 10, but he pushes into that area now. So ideally, our wingers are our wingers. And Kane drops, but our number 10 pushes on, which is why I now have come to the conclusion that this is the perfect position for Bellingham, which I know we already knew, but I was kind of flipping and flopping between Foden and Bellingham and whatever. Because Bellingham has been playing as a false 9 all season, so he pushes beyond if there is a number 9, he pushes beyond, and that's exactly what he will do. I don't think Foden's well suited to the system with Kane because Kane drops back and occupies the same space that Foden wants to occupy. Palmer cannot play next to each other on the fucking pitch. I would maybe get it if there was some kind of number 10 here, not Gordon. Foden was on the left and Palmer was on the right, because then they would kind of cut in, maybe they could be interchangeable, whatever. But with Foden here and Palmer here, they were literally stood on top of each other at times. Both brilliant players, but we haven't got the time for them to learn each other's game enough for that to work. So, I thought Mainu was good, but if Rice is going to want to be gallivanting off like he's doing a fucking ultra marathon, then I'm saying Rice needs to be the 8, and this guy, I'm going into what I would kind of play now, really. And this guy needs to be Adam Wharton. I'm sorry to say it, because Adam Wharton now seems to be a more dedicated CDM than Rice. So we're talking some kind of setup like this, right? Rice pushing on a little bit. Kane's obviously up top. I would start Gordon on the left. Now, when Saka came on, he did the best he could, but it was a lost cause at that point. But I am starting Saka at the right, because although he cuts in on his left foot, he is a more dedicated winger and he stretches the play, and that is what we need with Kane. Foden needs to be Bellingham, and I'm bringing Foden on any position in the front four in the final 30 minutes, pretty much every game, regardless. Because think about what he could contribute. So I'm not a fan of Trippier at left back. I felt like he does not combine well with the left winger like Gomez does. I mean, obviously when Shaw comes back, we want Shaw in, but Gomez is actually playing almost as if it's his natural position. For me, he starts there, but it's never going to happen. Gehi and Stones, I can live with it. Now, we haven't talked about the final squad selection very much. I did a snap reaction on Thursday, whenever it was. But we haven't really talked about the fact that Branthwaite wasn't took and Dunk was. Stones was taken off with an ankle issue at the end of the first half. So who's to say we're not fucking starting Dunk? I mean, we're not, because he says he's fine. But do you know what I mean? Like, that's what might happen. We might be starting Dunk, not having it. But if the starting players remain as they are, if the starting two centre-backs remain Stones and Gehi, I think that's a good pair. And they don't know each other as well as Stones and Maguire, but I do think it's a good pair. Would I want Branthwaite as a backup to Gehi? Yes. Do we have that? No. It's fine. We've got Gomez, whatever. Now, I never thought I'd say this, but I would consider playing Trent instead of Walker versus Serbia. I would 100% play Walker versus Denmark, our second game, because that's going to be a much harder game. And I think Walker is more suited to like a dynamic hybrid attack and defensive cover role at right back. Trent, on the other hand, is going to break lines, be creative in the centre of the park, tucking in as the right back. And I think that's going to be what we need against Serbia. So if I'm talking about my Serbia starting 11, I would actually start Trent. I just wrote Trent. I would actually start Trent at right back. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. So yeah, there were some issues on Friday night. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I do think we'll beat Serbia. I do think that Southgate will be seeing all these congestion problems that we saw. He's not dumb. Do you know what I think is one of Southgate's problems that he can't really solve? It's that he's very opaque with his kind of points of view on the game. So like when we finished, when he's in his post-match press conference, he'll often say things like, "Oh, we've got lots to work on, and you know, it was a team effort. We didn't play well as a team. We did play well as a team." Out of any manager I've ever seen, he defends his players as a group and pushes them as a group into the public, and he never really talks about specific passages of play or specific tactics he wants to change, other than maybe saying phrases like, "We weren't very good without the ball." He'll say something like that. The reason why he does that, I think, is to protect the players and also to not kind of attract criticism about nitty-gritty, getting in the weeds on tactics, because I think he knows that's a slippery slope. And I understand that. But the problem is it's a rod for his own back, because the problem is people listen to that and they think he ain't got a fucking clue what he's talking about. The truth is he does. He's very, very, switched on. And so are his team. And he's got a big team analysing way more stats and data than we could ever analyse. Maybe not me at my fucking hub, my Euro hub, but certainly more than anyone else. So they know. When we go, "Oh, Palmer's congested with Foden and Rice and Kane dropping deep and all that," they know. They're watching this back 15 times this week and they're going to fucking try and sort it out. Now, that's not to say they definitely can, but it's just to say everyone needs to calm down thinking he's clueless. He just doesn't talk in much detail because he don't want twats like you to be arguing with twats like you on Twitter, basically. Formerly known as Twitter. X, sorry. So yeah, I mean, I'll develop this throughout the week, but essentially that's what I'm feeling for our first game on. Is it Saturday? Sunday? It's coming up fast. Yeah. So thanks for joining me. I'm thinking about doing a Euro 2024 prediction later on in the week, and a preview of the opening game, preview of our opening game. There's lots to come on Fred's Euro 2024 Funzone. Euro.